All right, and welcome back, folks. We are in the game three. This is the tiebreaker between Peak and Shadow Esports. Which team is going to get the win for that top eight slot? Both teams have had an amazing performance so far. And before we continue, I'd just like to introduce myself and my amazing co-caster. I'm Baldu, and with me it's Fission. And we'll be taking up this last match, the tiebreaker. And so far, the draft is already underway. Looking at the tempo from both sides, we're going to see a few respect bans coming in, but the Zujin gets taken out along with the CC. And since it is Shadow Esports this time who has that first pick, they will be taking out a lot of these roam options. The Kalia, the Yi Sunshin, and the Grok are going to be taken out. So, Fission, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Bans as well, as per usual, the common bans right now that we're seeing, these S tier picks, these A tier picks, the Kalia being banned out, Yi Sun Shin, S tier jungler, also a Grok being banned out by the side of Shadow Esports, while we see Peak banning the Baxia, the Zushin, and the CC. Savage Warrior ends up picking the Kimmy, while God Kai still has his pick. Ben 14 on that Angela pick. It will probably, we are probably going to see Ben 14 on the Angela mid lane right here. Lemonair going for his pick in the first game. Lemonair, by the way, since Baldudu wasn't there, but Lemonair had picked the Gatot Kacha in game one. Right now, he's going for the Gatot Kacha again. Last game, we couldn't see it, but he did not go for. They had a mirror comp. They copied each other's drafts to a much larger extent. So that was interesting. But Shadow Esports did end up winning it, which brought us along to game three. Right now, Haruka picking the Yuzong, Lemon on the Lancelot. This is the first time in these three games that we've seen S tier jungler or Lancelot being picked up. So this will be really interesting. Haruka with the early game damage coming in from the Yuzong on his side. God Kai's, by the way, meanwhile, goes for the Joy. Last time, the side of Peak did ban the Joy, but this time, God Kai's will be picking up instead.
And Fission, do you think Peak has made a mistake giving up that Angela? Because there's two really amazing heroes that sync with the Angela right there. It's the Yuzong and the Lancelot. So at the same time, they've also denied God Kai's the Angela because Joy Angela is again a very great combo, very hard to get rid of. So do you think this is a mistake or is that like a calculated decision? Like, because they have also banned out the Bakshia because the Baksha would have been a great jungle option against both the Yuzong and the Angela. But since the Baksha gets taken out instantly, SD did not have to wait at all, and they instantly picked it up for themselves.
You were right. This might be a problem for the side of Peak, but the Angela could have provided them with lot more sustainability than they already have. But the Ben 14 didn't waste any time picking the Angela up, so there was not much they could do on the side of Peak. But right now we see a Nathan being banned out, while also the Ruby being banned out by the side of SDES. SDES, by the way, this Ruby was picked up by Skyzen on the gold lane in the first game, and we all saw what Skyzen did. Skyzen was really amazing on the Ruby, really aggressive, had that sustain, gave Wink a lot of problems in the gold lane. So they will be banning him out, and the Esmeralda gets banned out as well right now. While, like you said, would have been a really good combination here if God Kai's went for maybe a Fredrin, but they banned the box here. So a Fredrin with this Angela, they would have a lot more sustain coming in, and it would have made their day way easier because this is the last game. It's do or die for both these teams right here. Really, really good teams, by the way. So maybe we'll see this decision by them cost them, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a part of their plan, and we're not looking at it from their perspective.
And I mean, the draft coming in, maybe apart from that Angela, which is I'm not sure if that's strategy or decision, but or a error, but still a very good draft coming in from the side of Peak. I mean, they've covered all their bases really. They have not left much for in every single side. They have a lot of engage. They have great re-engage. And on the other side, Arizi is hovering over that Hylos. But would you really pick up the Hylos right now? Because you need someone to stop that joy. You have to like instantly lock that joy down. Maybe a Franco, but no, there's gonna be taking up the Bane, and it looks like this is an Angela in the mid lane with the Bane and the gold.
It's just
Yeah.
it wait. It indeed is because Vink is the goal laner for this team. So this Bane goal lane pick, I'm not really surprised. We know what the Bane can do in the goal lane or in EXP or in jungle. The Bane with a lot of magic damage. Arizi back onto his high loss. Whenever Lemon Air is picking Gacha, it looks like Arizi is like, I don't want to give you guys the combo. I'll take the high loss up for myself. Ricky also picking up the Lapu Lapu, by the way. And it's like right now, like you said, by the way, it will be really interesting to see what Skyzen picks up because Skyzen, we all know what he can do on the goal lane. So this is a really interesting matchup.
Definitely. And it's just gonna be a lot more interesting for either side right now because you have a very complete draft on both ends. Whereas the Uranus and the Lapu, I think the Lapu's gonna be going into that gold lane right now. So we see how they actually, sync it up. Because so far, in terms of team fights and turtle contests, I think Peak has a way better comp simply because of the number of options and sustain they have. They don't really need items. These are more of skill-based, execution-based heroes. So if whereas on the side of Shadow, they have to be a lot more clinical with their comp because the glorious pathway has to be perfect. The lance has to be sorted and Google it out. So yeah, we'll have to see how they do right now. The Hylos is gonna have to be absolutely clinical this game. So what are your thoughts, Vision? Who's gonna be getting that dub?
You're right. I might have some sort of intel on this because game one, we saw P going for the sustain comp where they had a fighter in the lane, which was Ruby. But this time it'll be the Lapu Lapu. So they know how to work with this comp. They brawled it out. It was an action-packed game one against the two sides. But the side of Peak managed to come out on top. So they're really familiar with these fighter and the gold lane comps, and I think they will be using it to their advantage right now. But Ben 14, we've seen him on this Angela in the mid lane previously as well. And these picks coming in from Ben 14, Arizi, Haruka, we're no strangers to this. We've seen what they can do on these heroes. So this will be really interesting to see what happens and who manages to edge this game.
Definitely. I mean, with the maximum charge, that is a very big crowd control set that they have for themselves, along with the AOG. So, there's a very good, I mean, very interesting comp coming in from both sides. Whereas with Angela, the side of Shadow wants to focus more on providing instant support anywhere on the battlefield. But with the side of Peak, they're just like, no, it doesn't matter what you bring at me because I can handle like two to three at once simply because of the amount of sustain they have in this fight. So, I mean, in the early game, there's not going to be much really happening. Both sides are going to trade unless either side kind of overcommits. I think we're going to get the tempo of the game from the after the first turtle because Angela is not going to be getting her ult until the first turtle starts. So I guess it's going to be Peak's first turtle.
It could be you indeed might be right. So we'll have to just see what happens in these final minutes of the third list one.
Hmm. So both sides, I mean, the turtle is going to be up in the next 10 seconds, and I guess we're going to have an answer. Meanwhile, Yuzong over there trying to stack up some shard residue, pick up the heals. And I think, Vision, do you remember the time when Yuzong was released and, the kind of heal he would be getting each tick? I mean, he could stand in between five and just heal through the whole game. But I think they have reduced that significantly. But he still has an impact. There's a Thorn Rose along with the Phantom Execution, but the damage is not enough. Baits out Kimi. Not the flicker, but she's able to back off for now. There is Yuzong with the Black Dragon form. The fight is underway. Lemon Air is trying to get zoned out. The Yuzong is there with the Angela. The hard guard is up. They zone them out completely. It's only Lemon Air over there. Kais is coming in for the fight. Will he make it in time? Yes, he does. Yuzong putting in an absolute ton of damage. Lemon's gonna be the one getting the with the turtle. There is the first blood. It's Lemonair who actually gets it instead. Wink gets a kill back onto God Kais. Then this is a very favorable trade coming in for Shadow Esports as they're able to get the jungler and a roamer only for a gold laner. But Skyzen responds to the clack back on the roamer, making the game a little more even right now. And I think neither team has really benefited too much. They used up the hard guard, but Ricky was able to back off.
Indeed. And but Wink in the goal lane coming in with the 2 kills for himself. But Skyzen had a lot to say. Skyzen is not going to back down. We know Skyzen is always on it. He's aggressive. He's 101 as well right now. So it will be up to these two mostly. But Lapu, will he manage to take down this Bane? Because we know the aggressiveness and the magic damage coming in from the Bane is really a lot. So this will be a lot to see here. But right now, Savage Warrior ends up being poked by Arizi and Ben 14. But Lemonade trying to give this vision to his team. God, Kai is also really, really careful. Indeed, these L bushes right here. But looks
Yup,
like Wink
man.
already knows something is up.
Definitely. I mean, those are death bushes. Are easy. Has to be spotting him out. Luckily, they have Angela there. Oh, there's the set coming in. A beautiful set coming in with the deadly catches there to respond, prevent a disengage. But the AOG comes in once again in response. God Cash gets the kill. Will they make it two? Not yet. Luckily, the revitalize. But there's a re-engage coming in. Arizi instantly claps back. Haruka gets the kill back onto God Guys. He will fall for now. Make it two as Kaizen is sent back to base. There's 4 people in the mid side for the side of Shadow Esports, and they know no one's there to catch them off. And with that, the fight comes to an end. Another fight coming in favor of Shadow Esports. I mean, Vision,
Indeed,
it's not fun for Joy right now. I mean, like Kais is really struggling right now.
Kais is 1-1. He is indeed struggling a lot right now, unfortunately. But Lemon, you see, Lemon is 0-0-1. He's comfortable right now. He doesn't have a lot to worry about. He's taking these buffs. He's securing these buffs for himself right now, and he's going to be farming as much as he can. Angela with the untold to the Lancelot. Lancelot ends up taking down the Kimmy in the mid lane. Now he'll be looking to escape. It will be an easy escape as it stands because he still has the sustainability coming from the side of the Angela here. Lemonade in a lot of trouble. Haruka is trying to chase him down. Arizi trying to take him down as well. Ben 14 ends up getting the kill on the Lemonade right here. And looks like Sky's in a bit of a trouble, but he managed to survive as well. But now Ricky has managed to be the distraction for this for Skyzen to survive. And it looks like they'll both indeed end up surviving. But this turtle will be going to the side of Shadow Esports here.
And dude, this game is still very neck and neck. Despite the advantage the Shadow Esports is slowly building up for themselves. You know, the you can see that if a good set comes in by Lemonade, this game can be turned around completely because both the sides have that kind of burst potential. They all have skill base, and there it is. The hard guard coming up back on top. Haruka going in for the re-engage. The Shard SCD putting in a lot of damage. Ricky forced to pull up that consecration just to buy himself some HP. Lemonade gets petrified, nowhere to survive, and Wink gets the kill with the deadly catch. The hard guard is up once again. They're gonna zone them away from that turret for now. Ricky pulling up a brave front against 4, trying to clear that lane under the siege. Will he be able to succeed in doing so? Yes, he does. No one from Shadow Esports really presses that issue. But on the bot side, are we going to be seeing a 1 versus 1? Lemon is the one who's just going to use his dash and dodges Sky's ult all together. The beats, while they were on point, will not connect.
Right now we see Ricky trying to sustain this damage coming from Haruka and Ben 14. Ben 14 cancels his although on Haruka. Ruzi will not be needing his ult for his teammate to survive right now. But right now Arizi trying to give a bit of a vision in this push on Savage Warrior, Skyzen and Lebanon. They're trying to take Ben 14 down or someone. They're trying to looking to get a kill here for their side. But looks like Ricky will end up getting caught. Ricky's very low HP. Ben 14 tries to hold him back. Haruka ends up getting the kill of Ricky right here. And looks like Lemonade and Savage Warrior are really low HP as well. They jump coming onto Skyzen right here. But Skyzen has other plans. Link ends up taking down the Kimi as well. But right now, Lemonade and Skyzen fighting to clear this mid laner. But Kai is right now coming in for a reason, but his damage is not enough. Ben 14 tries to hold him back, but just to no avail. Lemon now trying to go for him, trying to poke him a bit, trying to make sure that he ends up retreating, while Kaizen trying to defend the mid lane there for this side of the both the teams, by the way, going at it. They're going head to head. Haruka 3-1-4 right now, Wink 4-1-1, and looks like Peak wants this turtle, but do they want it as bad as the side of Shadow Esports there?
And look at that. There is the engage coming in. The hard guard is just so beautiful that Dragon Tail caught off three, but God Guys is still able to get that retribution despite the level disadvantage, but gets caught out. Skyzen finally takes down Haruka. The dragon is not as invincible as we once thought. Lemonair gets a catch, but the deadly catch is coming in response, but it's not enough. The damage is coming in too much. So is the sustain. Skyzen survives and gets four down. And with that, Peak has got its comeback. This is exactly what they needed. It's only Wink against the world. He went in a little too deep. Is he gonna survive? Yes, he does somehow. Ricky dropping in the Radiance will be hit with the Crab Claw Cannon, but it's not enough. The Hard Guard is back up. They have to besiege the turret as soon as possible. The Crab Claw Cannon dealing in so much damage, but they still managed to get that mid tier down with the help of Savage Warrior. And despite the scoreboard in favor of SD, you can actually see the turrets, the turret game is in favor of Peak. Peak is handling their waves very well so far because they have they have a lot of high mobility heroes. You can say the same about Shadow Esports, but they are focusing more on engages. Like you see Haruka joining fights with the help of Ben 14.
You're indeed right. The gold gap being onto the side of Peak here right now. They have a
Oh,
900 or 1K goal advantage, but but yeah, as we see the kill advantage, the kills are on the side of Shadow Esports here.
no, Lemonair gets caught down to a little half HP, gets chunked down very fast. And I mean, you can see the impact the Bane is having. Oh, the AOG with their Kimi set is beautiful, but Wink is there to stop them from putting that engage perfectly. But Wink right now forced to back off as soon as possible. Lemonair and Skyzen coming in with the fight. The AOG has already been used up. While the Glorious Pathway is being used up, it's going to be used as a de-engage. Haruka's caught in the midst of it all. What is he trying to do? Lemon dashes away to safety. Haruka still sustaining somehow, but will it be for long? It's not enough as God Kais gets the kill. And with that, three people down once again. Nobody falls from the side of Peak. Then the tempo of this game has shifted completely in favor of Peak right now, as they will be taking down the mid tier 2. And with that, it's only the inhibitor left, and they're going to move towards the Lord.
Looks like this Lord will be going over to the side of Peak because they are going to make easy or light work of this Lord. The way they've managed to take this Lord down, they were just fast at it. They didn't want to waste any time. They were like, let's just get this done and over with because we don't want to take any risks. Now, right now, we see Ricky going against Lemon, but Lemon will only be able to poke him down just a tiny bit. But right now, the Lord marching down the mid lane, and Lapu or Skyzen trying to clear this top lane turret as well. He's gonna push as much as he can. He might be playing a Lapu or a fighter, but he still knows he's in MM, and he's trying to do what MM does best. Right now, Skyzen and Tide going to team up against the likes of Lancelot and Yuzong, but Lemonair comes in for the rescue as well. Looks like is just got a bit under more pressure. He is even, but not for too long. Ben 14 ends up taking down Skyzen right now. It's an all-out war going on here. It looks like Haruka is in a lot of trouble here. Haruka is very low HP. God Kais ends up taking down Haruka. Now Immobilization coming onto the God Kais. 11 ends up taking down God Kais as well. Ricky in a lot of trouble. He is taking a lot of damage. He will not be able to survive this. Ring ends up taking down Ricky right here. Lemon Air and Savage Warrior are going to be retreating. They have managed to retreat now. And a recall coming in from Lemonair.
And this game is looking to be very interesting. I mean, we finally have a really good tiebreaker at hand. You can see why both these teams struggled against each other, and the exact same is happening in the game 3. Each team trying to fight for an advantage, trying to fight for that spot for top 8, and they're making it so difficult for each other. And this is why we love to watch MLOS season 2. This is the tiebreaker between Peak and SD for all our viewers who have tuned in just now. And I mean, you saw that engage, man. Like Vision, when Skyzen jumped in, it looked like he had that fight under control. But the second Ben 14 with the hard guard was able to proc the flask. I mean, the fight turned around completely because Yuzong was able to get time to heal on all those minions. And he just jumped back to full HP. And that turned the fight around completely. And the second they got the shutdown on Skyzen, instantly you saw the tempo of Peak. It actually plummeted, like Peak to plummeted. It plummeted there. they had to slow down their tempo. And you see, they're a lot more cautious with their rotations. Like Lemonade is not diving in too deep, neither is Ricky. They're always trying to form a line. And speaking of a line, Ricky might have bitten off a little more than he could chew. There's a stun coming in onto him. The hard guard's being popped up on Wink, but it was a false engage. But thankfully, the cooldown on Angela is basically 11 seconds at this point. So she can spam that hard guard as much as she wants.
You're right, Baldudu. Thankfully, Peak to Plummet didn't plummet too hard because they will not want to lose this fight. Right now, Skyzen and Kimmy onto the Lancelot. They're trying to kill him, but Wink and Ben 14 have some other plans in the mid lane. Haruka as well with them. And Arizi, but Arizi is a bit further off than his team, but he will manage to survive because his team is nearby. They don't want to leave them alone. Ricky right now getting immobilized. AOG coming from this gun out cutter right here, but a
Okay.
Petrify coming in as well. Looks like Wing and Ben 14 will be causing a lot of trouble to this side of Peak right now, but the Haruka in the top lane, in the mid lane near the Lord, he is there. He used his ultimate as well, but he ends up getting taken down by Skyzen. Skyzen ends up taking him down out of the sky. Lemon in a lot of trouble. He's sandwiched between four man of Peak to Plummet. Here, Kai is trying to escape this, but Wink wants him as well. Wink ends up taking down Kai. Lemon getting an ultimate on towards his side from Ben 14 to help him escape. Lemon Air is low HP right now. Bane coming in with the ult to help his teammate escape right here. But it looks like Skyzen and Ricky will be going head to head against the three-man of Shadow Esports or a four-man of Shadow Esports here. It looks like Skyzen won't be immune for too long because Lemon will indeed end up taking him down. AOG coming in on towards this side of Shadow Esports here. Arizi ends up surviving because of this ultimate coming in from Angela right now. Lemon Air being taken down by Ben 14. Lemon Air indeed ends up getting taken down. Now Ricky trying to chase Ben 14 down. Looks like Lemon does not want him to chase him, get him chased down. Ricky ends up killing Ben 14 though. It's going to be a trade, but Ricky might end up losing his life here. Will his sustain be enough for him to survive? Because Wink is doing a lot of damage to him. It looks like his sustain will be enough right now, but Kai is coming in. He's trying to get a kill onto Wink and onto Lemon, but looks like he ends up getting a kill on Wink right now with Lemon low HP. But Ricky still wants more. Ricky is out for blood. He is bloodthirsty.
Definitely. I mean, that was a very intense fight coming in, very drawn out fight. And the reason both teams were able to do that was simply because how much sustain they inherently have, the way they're able to heal up, and the endless battle on that lance. Because every time he's able to basic attack, he's healing like a good chunk of his HP back. And the endless battle plus the war axe provided so much value for that Lancelot. He was able to sustain for so long until that hard guard popped back up, being an absolute menace, using up those dashes because just like there's nobody to really stop Kais from rotating too much, whereas Kais has to deal with a deadly catch. He has to deal with a possible petrify. They don't have that option. Lance is inevitable in a sense. The only one who can really stop that Lancelot from really being a menace is at most a taunt from Gatot. So, you can see how freely Lance is dashing. Look at how Lemon is dashing. But there's she catches on three. Absolutely perfect. There's the deadly catch. The Bink is going to be caught out. Got Kai is showing up here, showing off right now as REZ gets taken off. And it looks like there's been a major miscommit coming in. A huge miscommunication coming in as Lemon is caught all the way in the back. He's not really able to reach back in time. Ricky zoning out Ben 14 altogether as caught Kais dashes in with the joyful jump and gets another kill. Lemon responds with a kill onto the Savage Warrior, but he's all alone right now. How is he gonna back off? Can he survive against what the Ricky is doing? It's not gonna be enough. It's a wipeout. This game is over, and we have another quarterfinalist. It is gonna be God Kaizen team. Peak will be taking the slot up as Shadow Esports will have to pack their bags.
What a game, Baldudu. The way these teams played, it was an action-packed game, just like game one. We saw game one being an all-out action-packed game, and this one too. It looks like Peak. It's 2-1 for the side of Peak. They've managed to take it all. They've managed to win it all for their side. And anyways, it was your casters for this game and this best of three. It was Baldudu, the amazing Baldudu, and me. It's your boy Fission, and we'll be going for a short break.
And welcome back, everyone, to the MLOS Season 2. This is a really amazing game that we have. It's going to be SBI versus METARU, a very strong team on both sides. Really very proven players who've been playing in tournaments across, across all various stages. They've had good levels of success. And yep, with this, the game is already underway. The draft is in. This is going to be the first game of the best of three. I'm your caster Baldudu, along with the very talented Fission, and we'll be yapping along with you guys for the day.
For sure, of course, we'll be yapping along throughout these games. And right now, we see a ban on the Kalea coming in from the side of SBI here. Kalea, we already know what a Kalea can do. The Kalea is basically a WWE wrestler, the way the Kalea is being played. A slam coming in from the Kalea. So they don't want to face a WWE wrestler in this game right now, so they'll be banning him. But Ralik right now going for his ban for the side of Mataru's ban right here. And it'll be interesting to see who he bans, but we're probably expecting a S tier jungler and take the CC instead. But CC already we know very versatile pick, so it's an expected ban.
Definitely, and look at that. The CC is going to be a response, and so far the CC is very good in jungling. Sorry, in the EXP and the gold. I mean, she's a very versatile pick. You can. I've seen some people even bring it into the mid side while taking Bane on the gold. So yeah, she's having a lot of value right now simply because of how versatile she is. Really fast rotations coming in with the help of a passive and the curtain call. So they've just taken it out altogether, do not want to deal with that drama at all. And I think it's self-explained. Nobody wants to deal with a Grok simply because of how annoying he is. So yeah, another valid ban. Do you think we're going to be seeing a YSS ban? Because I think both sides have very good jungle users in terms of the Sunshin.
You're right. It'll be really interesting to see what happens here because they would want to pick out a Yi Senshin and a Lancelot, but will they be wanting to hand one of these picks over to the other side? Because if you do not ban the Yi Senshin, let's say the Metaru does not ban the Yi Senshin, the side of SBR will look to pick up the Lancelot, and vice versa, whatever happens. But they have Joseph has indeed gone for the Outlaw ban. It looks like, as for now, they won't be banning these meta junglers.
And the Arlott. And I think we're seeing a pattern here. Two roamers taken out by the side of SBI, whereas, Meta is, locking down the EXP lane. So I guess both sides have a very fixed strategy coming to mind. And once again, the Zuzhin gets banned. And this is something we've been seeing from SBI throughout their progression in this tournament and in general. They do not like the Zuzhin. They do not like dealing with the Zuzhin. They like playing a very physical, very aggressive, fast-paced game. They like to dash into a fight, take a pick off, and leave. Zuzhin is the type of hero who can ruin that plan because even a slight mistake in a pick off comp will lead to your opponent snowballing. So I guess this Zuzhin is, or maybe it's just that they don't want to play it. It could be either of those, but yeah, that's how it is. And in response, what do you think will be the? Oh, it's a Baksha. So they're going to leave the Angela open for SBI.
Talk about holding a grudge, by the way. You're right. They don't want a Zushin being played here. Because we all know when we're trying to escape and you see a Zushin coming towards you, and the Zushin is trying to take you down and bring you back to her team, it's really annoying. No one wants to deal with Zushin. But SBI Cloud 2.0 right now ends up picking the Angela while we see the Boxer being banned out. So it looks like the side of Metaru does want to pick a meta jungler like a Lancelot or a Yusenshin, and they don't want to face a Boxer. So they at this point, there's the Fredrin Open as well. But out of these three picks, maybe hopefully we do end up getting to see Assassin being picked up here, like maybe a Ascension, maybe a Lancelot. Hopefully, the chosen one does, though he ends up choosing the Gatot Kacha. And this will look to be a Romer Gatot Kacha because we all know it's better in Rome. And Joseph ends up picking the Alice as well. So a lot of sustain coming in from the side of Metaru right now. But the Angela, like the last game against Peak and SDES, The Angela was on the other side. So even though the side of Metaru does have the sustain, but they just won't have the Angela on their side. But low taper fade also going for the Yuzong here. What do you think about these picks so far, Baldudu?
I mean, if you see, this is literally what this is almost very similar to what Peak and Shadow Esports have picked. I mean, this is the exact draft that Shadow had used. Even the last Baksha ban was what Peak banned out, and they took the Gatot instead of the Angela. So this is like game three flashbacks, but in their Shadow Esports, despite having this draft, they did take Yell, and this is the same thing I pointed out. Will the Angela guarantee the win? So we can see from the previous stats that performance that yes, Angela is very good with a lance, but it does not guarantee invincibility. And looking at what in the side of Metaru is running, they have Joseph and Chosen for, your sustain. They have it for the engages and decent crowd control. And then you have the Selena who's there for like, to actually set the tempo for your engages. Because once she lands a stun, Gutto is instantly there to follow up. And it's gonna make SBI think a lot before they pick up a marksman. Yeah, and they do not, because if you give up any conventional marksman which is without dashes, like you take something like a Clint, it's just going to be very difficult for you to live. You need something like a DHS marksman, and that's going to be like either a Moskov or an Irithel, which will be the only viable picks right now, because you need someone to melt those two down, or you need a Lunox. You need a Nox. So a really great job coming in the draft by Metaru. And the craziest part is the game is not even half done yet. Uh, Metaru interestingly opts to take out the Granger and the Hylos. So maybe I might be seeing it differently. They might have another plan in mind. They do not. They want to probably restrict LLJ. They want to restrict Krolo too from like really setting in with the high lows. Like I said, SBI likes the pick off, so maybe they want to restrict the glorious pathway. At the same time, glorious pathway is a good counter to what these guys are running. If he drops it in the opposite direction, they will slow them down completely.
But right now we'll be seeing Teoka going for his pick right here. A wonderful band coming in from both the sides, by the way. We all know what a Granger can do with those Sky Piercer stacks. They do Metaru does not want to deal with a Fed Granger with the Fed Sky Piercer stacks and the Hylos as well. But right now a lot of sustain that I see from the side of Metaru and a Selena coming in. We know these traps that Selena gets set is really, really annoying to deal with. So, but right now, Teoga is taking his time. He's thinking. He's probably talking to his team. They're communicating between each other on who to pick. But Teoga does indeed end up picking the Fredrin. We all know, if you do not have a Baxia, the next best counter to a Lancelot right now in this meta as a S tier jungler is Fredrin. So he will be indeed end up taking the Tigreal Fredrin pick here, while Crollo. Uh, Hovering over the Nathan right now. Nathan, you already know, really good, really, really good magic damage MM. We all know how big of a menace a Nathan is. And LLJ hovering over the Hilda, hovering over the Khalid, both two picks which can pressurize assassin jungler a lot and give a lot of problems. Early game invades coming from these two heroes, Khalid or Hilda, whatever they pick. We know we're in store for some early game invades. So right now as well, we see Ralik. LLJ will be picking up the Khalid, well, Ralik right now. It's all up to Ralik. Who is he gonna pick? There's a few good options left on the chopping board here, but who do you think they will be picking up Baldudu?
And wait, I think I have my net is lagging a bit, but that aside, I hope I'm audible to you, Fission.
Yes, you are.
Okay, okay. I don't know. My net was like acting up, so I didn't speak. But oh my God, I mean, this draft is so good to look at from both sides. I mean, it was exactly what each team needed. The 1-1 to, dash out to, ensure that Lance and Khalid won't be able to catch them off easily. The Nathan, who is literally the best option outside of DHS marksmans to melt the lineup that Metaru is using. I mean, it is a very well thought out draft from both sides. I mean, this draft is very 50-50. It's going to be completely based on execution. In terms of damage output, I think SBI has a better idea. They have more damage output coming in from them. Like instantly, they have the Nathan, you have the Khalid, the Lancelot, and the Yuzong, who conventionally their kits give them more instant burst. So they'll be better in terms of pick off, which is what SBI likes to pick. Whereas in terms of Metaru, they also like their pick off comps, but they try to do it in a more controlled stage. Like you have the Selena with the stun, then you have the Fred who can drop in taunts while you have 1-1 chip them away. So yeah, there are a lot of win conditions on both sides. It's a very good draft to watch, and it's honestly been quite a while since you've seen such an even draft, man. Like it's been a really good time. So yeah, we have a very semi-final worthy game coming up for us, and it's a best of three. So there's going to be a lot more game for us to watch. And with that, the game is already underway, and the flicker gets baited out. Joseph styling on Cloud as he is forced to bait a very important resource this early into the game.
Indeed, they're already. This game is going to be action-packed. We know it from the get-go here because the way these two, the fight took place in the mid lane, it was like we know what we're in store for. Okay, SBI, the side of SBI, the side of Metaru. We all, the two of us, know what we're in store for now. And Joseph kind of low HP right now with the Cloud 2.0 does want it. While Yuzong and Alice battling it out on the top lane and 1-1. By the way, about these comps, I want to say usually in a Protect Mr. President comp, we do see an Natan being picked up. The side of Metaru does have the sustain coming in from the Fredrin, the Alice, and the Gato. But yeah, instead of a Nathan, they do have the 1-1. So will he be the next president of this land, of the Land of Dawn? I guess we'll find out.
Definitely. And yes, man, the turtle is going to be up in the next few seconds, but Ralik is going to drop on a little poke. He does get his level 4. Izo has also picked up his level 4. We'll have to see if Angela is able to get her hard guard before, but look at that on the top side. Will they get the kill? Yes, they do. Tarka is going to versus Thizan versus Krolo. And oh, the Yuzong, man. The Shah residue is chunking so much. It's doing so much work against the front line that Metaru is facing, zoning them away from the Lord almost single-handedly with the help of Cloud. And with that, they're going to go in for a possible engage. Will Ralik come in? Because he has nobody there. I don't think he knows there's those many people over there. He will fall as Low Tape of Fate picks up the second kill of the day. And this is a great start coming in for SBI as they've secured a buff, taken down the jungler, and another XP lane pick and a turtle all under 3 minutes. I mean, this is literally the perfect start you could ask for.
Low taper fade with the brain rot knowledge giving the side of Metaru a ninja low taper fade here because he's 2-0-0 right now. And by the way, the initiation of the action take makes Aoka giving him that Indian twist and calling him Turtle was phenomenal, I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the best things. I was like, nah, this kind of sounds better than Aoka, but it is what it is. Right now, the Yuzong doing the lane cutting right here. He's going to put a lot of pressure because he wants to join the team fight in the mid lane or with his team right here. Joseph a bit low HP. It looks like there'll be another fight here. LLJ ends up getting caught, but LLJ with his own ultimate. Radnik low HP right here. The chosen one getting pressurized by the Yuzong, but the Yuzong goes for Radnik instead. It looks like Lancelot will be trying to get a kill here. The chosen one already low HP. Radnik really low HP. Will he end up taking down someone? Lancelot ends up taking down the Fredrin right here, but the one ends up taking down the Lancelot as well. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but looks like no triple fade without something to say. Ends up taking down the 1-1, ends up taking down the Khalid. It's a 2-for-2 trade. They were brawling it out in the bottom lane.
And damn, man. That fight was actually very even, so there was no real winner because they still lost their jungler and roamer for a jungler and not a roamer for your gold. So it's not really that valuable because you know you kind of baited out a lot of resources. The tempo is still going to be pretty even, but yeah, Ralik is on the top side. His jungle is going to get slowed down a lot more, whereas Lance can secure it a little faster. So yeah, that's the second turtle going over with the gold lead slowly inching in favor of SBI. The tempo is definitely in their favor right now. You can see with the way how aggressively low taper fade is going in, but I think he bit off a little more than he can chew as the AOT also connects, not giving him time to drop his ult. The Fraser's Wrath gets used up, but there's the hard guard that buys him time. Oh my god, was that a winter swap coming in? No, it was not. It was just a black dragon form giving him so much heal. It looked like he was invincible for a second. As Cloud will take the kill on to Tarkan. Looks like this game is quickly turning into a snowball for Low Taper Fade. This man is at 502. Somebody stop him.
He is a man on the moon right there. Like you said, he's 502. He's just stunting on them. He's like he's in his element right now. He's 502, and he will be looking to capitalize on it. And Izo official goes for that middle inhibitor turret right here. But it looks like Nathan is onto the top side. He wants this inhibitor turret as well. But the chosen one and the one trying to catch the Yuzong by surprise. But he's just to tank. He's 502. He'll just get poked a bit, but not taken down just yet.
And looking so far on the bot side, Low Taper Fade has they performed a lame swap as they want Krollo to just, farm as peacefully as possible. I mean, Krollo has been involved in that fight in the middle where it was a 2-for-2 trade, but it looks at this point it's like Krollo is the one who is playing a very passive role. He's just focusing on getting the turrets and, contributing towards the macro of the team. While Low Taper Fade is going to involve himself in the more aggressive aspects of that game. So you can see LLJO gets the stun on the Abyssal Arrow will connect, but Ralik forced to back off once again as the Raging Sandstorm is not going to connect onto anyone. The Heart Guard is going to be used up on the Black Dragon form. Low Taper Fade with another Petrify will catch out a monster kill onto Teasen. AOG used up defensively. Ralik with nowhere to go gets taken down. And with that, it's 2-0 in the favor of SBI once again, as it looks like they want to end this game as soon as possible. The bot side turret will collapse in the next few seconds. They're going to look for mid. I think they're going to wait for the third turtle, or you think they're going to take the turtle or go for the Lord? I think they're taking the turtle rather than the Lord. They don't want to risk a Lord contest just yet. They want to keep that tempo up and escalate it into, another pick-off soon.
By the way, I had to double check and look if Low Taper Fade is playing a Yuzong or if he's using a hero like David Goggins or something, because he will be carrying the boats. He is 603. He is a man on a mission. He cannot be taken down right now. And it looks like Krollo will be following the lead as well. LLJ providing a bit of vision onto Ralik and Teoka. But looks like Low Taper Fade wants more. And he will be taking down this creep.
And okay, wait.
Looks like Lancelot is going for the red buff. He doesn't want to give any space or any room for Ralik to breathe. He knows Ralik is 0-4-1 and he will want this level gap or this jungle gap to be increased way further right now. There's a 4-level difference between these two junglers right here. Ralik is currently level 8 while Lancelot is level 12. And right now we see the side of we see this side.
Oh, the Raging Sandstorm. The setup is coming in. Finally, LLJ will be the one who gets, taken down. But I'm really confused, Vision. Like, have they not bought anti-heal, or is just Low Taper Fade having some sort of buff with that IGN? Because he is just healing up like mad. And we're not even talking about the passive. Just his, his skill 1 is giving him so much sustain. He's clearing one, he's hitting it once on a minion, and then he heals up back to full HP. Despite how much ever poke he's being hit with by 1-1 and Joseph on that Selena.
It could be either or because it's just 9 minutes. It's really early game. Early game with Yuzong, we all know how strong a Yuzong is. Plus, this Yuzong is just not a strong early game. He's fed. So, obviously, this will be a really huge problem for this side of Metaru. And I don't know if anyone can stop him at this point. Maybe they will have to target lock him with all their ults.
And so far the Lord dance is going to begin, but it's less of a dance and more of a zone, as Low Taper Fade is still sustaining amidst it all, not buying a lot of time, sustaining absolute havoc in the back, using up the Black Dragon form. He's solely so locked in on Ralik, does not want to let Ralik get anywhere close to this Lord, buying his time, doing his job, drops in the taunt, and with that, single-handedly has able to zone away this the side of Metaru once again. And I think game 2, regardless of how this match turns out, I think Low Taper Fade will have his Yuzong taken down.
Indeed, they'll be looking to lock this Yuzong down because this Yuzong has been a problem or a thorn in the side of Metaru here. And right now we see both the sides trying to play it safe. They're trying to freeze the lane. Hopefully they're going to freeze the lane, which they are going to because LLG has left the mid lane minions right here. And they will be looking to force down this lord with all the minions and trying to push or get at least one inhibitor turret here. Right now, Fredrin Ralik trying to push a bit trying to provide a bit of damage onto the side of the low taper fade here, but he knows low taper fade will be getting taken down this easy.
Oh,
Right now, there's only one gets shot, but by this side of SBI here, looks like Frollo end up taking down the
oh
Gator.
my. Dude, Joseph got picked off all the way at the Aegis. And it looks like this just might be over. They've completely, while the Lord defense was successful, they've lost every single member of their side. And the next wave has crashed down on the mid. It's only Tarka against the world. She has to flicker out. And Alice will have to watch on as their next wave, which is spawned in, will be taken out. It's only 3 seconds, but this will be 3 seconds too late for the members to show up, as this match will have its game one secured by SBI. And this game, and they've already got match point now, so they will be looking to go for that clean sweep. On the other end, Metaru has to figure out, and they have to do it fast. As this game, despite the draft, was completely turned on its head by that insane performance coming in from Yuzong, a massive 12.5 victory. And with that, this is a 13-4 favor coming in for SBI, and we will be heading right into game 2 in just a few moments, folks. And folks, we're back with game 2 of this series between SBI and Metaru. Metaru right now is down a point compared to SBI's performance, but they will be looking for their clap back. They're going to look for their league back as soon as possible. And it's going to be Metaru with the first pick. So now they are the ones who can set the tempo in this draft with their bans and the first pick. So, do you think we're going to be seeing a low taper fade ban once again? Because last time we saw a lot of EXP bans. Do you think we're going to see the Yuzong ban, or they're just going to draft something that works against Yuzong very well?
Maybe I think they might be scared of the low taper fade coming in again, and they don't might not want to face that Yuzong. But is Yuzong a worth a ban, or maybe they just end up picking a better hero in the EXP lane who could probably beat the Yuzong. But I guess we'll have to find out. But right now, Metaru going for the Angela ban here. They don't want this extra sustain from the Angela, and they also do manage to ban out the Grok right here. But we know why these picks are banned. So right now the Kalea is also banned from the side of SBI here. Last time we saw Cloud on that Angela. It was not too much. It didn't do. I mean, it did well to save. It did provide a lot of sustain, but it was just wasn't enough. And this time, Metaru will not be letting them get any sort of extra sustain by an Angela. But it looks like Cloud
Definitely.
will be going for a ban now.
You're right about that. And the Zuzhan gets taken out once again. SBI sticking to the very same list of bans they had from game one. Do you think they're gonna go for a similar draft too? Maybe they're gonna substitute. I doubt they're gonna substitute the Angela with a Florin. But I have a high feeling that looking at the way that bans are, since it's the Kalia that gets taken out rather than the Grok, I feel like they might be looking in for possibly a Eve pick and or a Yi Sanshin. Like they might go for an early Eve or Yi Sanshin from either side. Because looking at the set of bans, because Kalia is going to either be a Farsa that's going to be picked up in mid lane, with compared to how SB and Metaru like playing, or a Kimi. So yeah, there it is. Right, I said the Farsa gets banned out
The
because that
first
would be one of the picks that would work really well against the Kalia ban.
I agree. The Farsa does manage to get banned out here, but right now Low Taper Fade will be looking to get a ban here. And it looks like both the meta junglers, Lancelot and G Ascension, are still open. A CC ban coming in from Low Taper Fade. We know what a CC can do. A really versatile and a flexible pick right now in this meta. Right now, but Ralik will be taking their pick for the side of Mataru right now. And this will be really interesting to see because right now we have Frederick, Baxter, Lancelot, Reese, and Shen, all these four junglers left open. So they have a plethora of picks here. And they do indeed end up picking the Lancelot instead. Why the Ezo official right now? Hovering over that Fanny. But will they be picking this Fanny up? Or will they be going for a Fredrin here, maybe? Maybe a Baksha. There's a few good picks here. I mean, there's all the S tier picks left there in the open for this side of SBI right now. And Cloud 2.0. There's no Angela here. So this will be really interesting to see what Cloud does end up picking. Looks like low taper fade back on a signature Yuzong instead. What do you think about this, Baldidu?
The Yuzong is going to be picked up once again. But they have to be careful because it's not going to be as easy as last time. Low Taper Fade, while he had an amazing performance, it was supplanted by the sustain brought by the hard guard. Otherwise, we saw at one point he was popped very low. If it wasn't for that hard guard, he would have been taken out. And maybe the game one would have looked very differently from how it might have been. But yeah, Ralik is the one who's going to pick up the Lancelot for himself this time. And like I said, it was either the Eve, Kimi, or the Farsa. So Cloud will pick up the Kimi for himself since the Angela has been taken out this time. Chosen will still stick to what was working in game one. While it did not succeed against Low Taper Fade, it might have better results in game two. And Chosen One, known for his wide variety in roles, like while he usually prefers to go for gold or jungle, this man is now bringing his talents into the roam, and it's going to be Tarka picking up the Lapu Lapu for himself, and that is the first set of the draft almost complete. But Ezo, do you really think he's going to go for that Fanny? Nah, that Fanny that early is insane. I don't think it's Fanny. I think he's going for a Yisanshin or maybe a Suyo, even a Joy, but I don't think Fanny is gonna be picked up that early. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. He swapped in LLJ with the Baksha on the roam.
He's just trying to play a trick on us. He's like,
Yeah,
let me entice the casters a bit. Let me show them the fanny. And every time they
yeah,
say, "Oh, he's going to pick up the fanny," I'm going to change it. I'm going to swap someone. Last time he swapped
yeah.
low taper fades Yuzong. This time he'll be going for swapping LLJ's box share. But Teoka providing that little bit of Turka with that Lapu Lapu pick in the EXP lane, S tier, one of the best EXP laners in this meta right here. So that is something interesting to see. Wow, why the Ezo official going for that ban now? Hopefully he does not ban the Fanny accidentally, or he does end up banning the 1-1 instead.
Yup. So the 1-1 is gonna be taken out, and it looks like the 1-1 did give them a significant issue for it to be, banned out. Like we might not have really noticed its effect directly, but maybe Krolo was struggling to really enjoy his lane advantage. Because despite the amount of gold lead, if we see, Thizen really didn't die as much. Like apart from like one or two pickoffs in like large team fights, he was able to buy a lot of time. So I think maybe they just don't want to deal with the 1-1 who's just so hard to catch, even having a Yuzong. So they're just taking it out altogether. And since they're picking up a Berkshire and Kimi, who are going to be getting a little close and comfortable, they've taken out the Bane. So they do not want Joseph to try any sneaky business with a mage pick, mage Bane, or a gold lane Bane on that, burst build. So, yep, they have completed that ban with a YSS and Granger. So now Ezo is left with very few options right now in that jungle. He can't really go so early against the thing with a Joy against that comp. It's a little too early to pick up the Joy. So his options are either the Suyo, maybe something like an X Borg, uh, but he does not need to pick up the Xbox because the opponent has already picked up the Lance and Lapu. So there's no need to counter pick it. But he's still gonna take that risk and go in for an early Joy pick, allowing Krolo the the secrecy of that last pickup, which is very important because their other side, the Thiessen has also not picked up his gold lane just yet. So they want to ensure they have a favorable trade on the gold.
Indeed, they will look to have this favorable trade on the goal line because YT Ezo, even though he had been showing the Fanny, he had been wanting us to think he's going to pick up the Fanny. He managed to pick up the Onyx Philippines Joy skin instead. Joy, he would want to channel his inner King Kong right now, so hopefully he can do a lot of damage. While Joseph currently hovering over that Novaria. Wow, Deason is going to go for that Harrods pick. Joseph wants to steal these ults, or does he want to provide a lot of vision with these ults? But it looks like Joseph will be going for the Novaria pick, and Teason will be locking in that Harrod. Now, Crollo right now. Crollo right now is showing the Mincetar. Are we going to see another one of those EXP goal laners, a fighter goal laner in the goal lane? I guess we will, because he has managed to pick up the Mincetar. Oh, maybe he ends up swapping for Cloud, but it looks unlikely at this as this stands. Who do you think is going to edge this draft battle right now, Balidu?
Okay. In terms of gold lane Mincetar, while it works because they have a Kimi, I don't think Thiessen is going to be caught out that easily. So it's a very risky game on either side because if Mincetar gets the sets that he needs, it's going to be a great game. And Harith will also struggle a lot in the early game because there's a Bakshir running around, dropping his tortoise Posans. There's a Kimi who's dropping in slows. There's a Joy dashing around. There's a Yuzong who's trying to make life a menace. But at the same time, they have the Novaria who can give them vision before these guys really dive in. They have a Lance who can, zone out Cloud from really getting in a little too close. Lapu is also there. So yeah, this game once again, the drafts are quite even. But in terms of win conditions, it's gonna be Ralik with the retribution and Thiessen on the Harith. He has to have a great performance. And on the other end, it's gonna be how well LLJ will actually be able to drop those, anti-heal stacks as soon as possible onto Ralik and Chosen to, kind of negate the stuns altogether. So it's gonna be LLJ and Krolo with how well he drops the King's Calling. And what are your thoughts, Vision? Because this is what I feel. But do you see something different?
I,
Oh wait, wait,
I
wait, 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 wait! See something different right now as LLJ with the help of Cloud pick up the first blood all the way on the bot side. That was an invade nobody expected. The Lancelot gets taken down.
you were talking about seeing something. All I could see was and LOJ and Cloud trying to pick off the Lancelot early game instead, and they managed to do it. Looks like he will be a bit slower on the farm right now. He will be looking to somehow deal with this gap that he just got, and it looks like Cloud will be providing a lot of damage to the chosen one in the mid lane, and he's trying to target Joseph as well. Looks like he immobilized Joseph, and Joseph is really low HP, but he will manage to escape instead. Chosen one really low HP as well. Earlier, it looked like they were trying to provide a lot of pressure towards the side of low Taper Freight in the early game. There were three men trying to push him or pressurize him because we all know what he can do on that Yuzong. It looks like Season will end up getting taken down by LLJ in the bottom lane instead. Crollo emoting on him. Crollo what? Colo, oh my days, he did somehow manage to take him down. And it looks like LJ is back in the base right now. But this is a lot of time given towards this Mr. to farm up. Looks like YT Izo going to go and bother Raleigh and take his blue buff from his side because he's 2 levels above him right now. But he does not manage to get this blue buff. But he will end up proccing Raleigh's retribution right now. So this will be a free 30 for the side of SBI. Wow. Why Yuzong ends up taking down Teoka?
Okay, there's gonna be. I mean, despite. Oh, wait, there's a clap back there. Trollo is the one who's gonna be taken out finally. Despite SBI having a good early start, a very good early start. In fact, there is the engage coming in by Ezo. He drops the joyful beats, but there's not enough damage for him to sustain. Doesn't want to get taunted by the Gato. So he backs off for now. Scoreboard is 1-3. SBI again is taking up the early game tempo always. And Metaru has to do something about that. They go, oh, beautiful taunt coming in by LLG. Sorry, by Chosen One onto LLG. But since LLG was on, he was in his shield form, he was able to roll out to safety.
Indeed, but looks like LLJ wants more. He wants to clap back. He's going with the Kimmy, and they're on to LLJ. But looks like Chosen One will be using the AOG to escape, and he has managed to escape. But LLJ, will he get caught by the Lancelot right here? It looks like he will end up getting caught by the Lancelot and hard. But will they go for him? They know Crollo is there who can help LLJ, so they just have retreated off and backed off from this fight.
Okay, will there be a possible invade? Yes, it is. Will it be a successful one? Once again, the answer is affirmative. As Ezo sneakily uses up the joyful beats to steal away the blue buff of Ralik. And Ralik, I think, looking at the retribution that he's using, he might be going in for a sustain Lancelot. Because he's going for the bloody retribution rather than the flame or the ice one. So, oh, Crollo with the catch baits out the flicker of Thazen, but a beautiful set of macro coming in. The flicker timing was just perfect. Dodges away the King's Calling, the set from the Kimmy and Bakshia all at once. And I think this is exactly why they didn't want to give Thazen that 1-1. Because even without an immune, he's doing so well, baiting out all those kills. But with that said, the turtle is up. Izo is going to start off with the turtle. A lot of zone. Novaria using up the vision proc. Petrify being used up once again. Chosen will have to back off as soon as possible. Uses up the AOG defensively. Ezo is going to secure that turtle. As Starka will be zoned away. Uses up the flicker preemptively. Does not want to get poked down. And with that, the scoreboard is 1-3. Not much in the shape of kills. Will Crollo be looking for another set? I think his cooldown is coming up soon for the King's Calling.
Indeed. Now LLJ providing a lot of vision on the season and Ralik for his side, for the side of SBI here. While low Taper Fate being sneaky right here, he tries to catch Ralik, but Ralik does manage to dash out here. But they will be taking this farm away from Ralik as well. Ralik is already level 7, by the way. He's 2 levels below YT Ezo. And they will want to capitalize further on this Crollo right now. Will be getting this inhibitor really comfortably because it looks like Teasen won't be contesting it because he knows there's 3 members from the side of SBI and it's not a favorable trade-up for him.
Okay, the mid lane. Will we see a possible mid lane siege coming in from SBI? But Nova drops down the slow, and that's exactly what SBI does not like to play around. We've seen them take out the Hylos. We've seen them not play around the Zujin. And Novaria's ult, while having a longer cooldown, is a great option in terms of the utility it provides.
Exactly. And now YT Ezo trying to wait for this. Wait, there is no blue. It won't be popping up. But looks like Yuzong
Oh,
will be going in with the Black Dragon form. And he will be Solo ends up taking down Raleigh. Right now, Seoka low HP as well. Decent managed to take it down. LFJ Cloud ends up taking down the Gato Cutter right there. And looks like Decent and Crollo going head to head at each other right now. But Crollo manages to escape right now. Seoka really low HP trying to recall, but low taper for it wants it. But he successfully managed to recall right here. But will they be taking down the middle of the turret right here? Because there's a minion very bursting down in the mid lane. But looks like Izo and Claude will be trying to get this red buff from the side of Metaru here. And they will confirm it.
definitely. And I mean, the scoreboard does not reflect the impact that Ezo is really having on the game right now. Like he's on 0-0, but he's been invading. He's constantly being a menace. Taper Fade dropping in a lot of damage. He's probably gonna get that kill once again. The Shah Residue leaves Chosen with an inch of HP. The AOG not enough in time as Cloud will get the kill. Ralik responds onto LLJ, and that's a 1-for-2 trade once again in favor of SBI as they're gonna steal a turtle away for themselves comfortably and a turret on the bot side. Meanwhile, Thiessen putting in work on the top, taking another turret, but looks what is low Taper Fate doing right now? And you know, I'm really curious as to what they're actually building right now because it's 8 minutes in. I think both the sides have built a good number of items. I want to see what they're itemizing on each side,
Low
but
Taper goes for the Oracle right now, and Low Taper is doing what Low Taper does best, brother. He's just stunting on them with the Yuzong. He's 104 right now. He's comfortable. He goes the Oracle for the more region right now, and we see Claude being sneaky here. He's not moved. He's not AFK though, but like, looks like Ezo will be providing the pace instead, and he will be setting up the tempo because he's going for Teasen right now. LJ low HP as well. Teasen does provide a lot of damage onto the side of LFJ right here, so he can make sure that he retreats. But a beautiful LG coming in for him to retreat, for the Gato to retreat. Crowler trying to catch Thiessen, but he will not be able to catch Thiessen this time. But low taper fate managing to take down this middle inhibitor for this side of SDI right here.
oh, low taper diving in, uses up the Black Dragon form, takes in a little poke, gets taunted out, but is gonna back off for now. Oh my god, look at the damage coming in. Thiessen has got his feather, and we can see that in his damage. He has to be a little more careful when he dives in from now. He does not have Cloud on the Angela this time. It's gonna be the Kimi who's gonna try to bail him out. And in terms of damage output, there's a lot of burst coming in from SBI, but in terms of sustained damage, uh, it's actually very neck and neck. You have the Lance, you have a Nova and a Harith who have a mix of a little of both, and you have the Joy who's in there for burst and low taper. So it is pretty even in terms of the draft, but in terms of gold, it's a 7.5k lead that's close to two whole items in favor of the side of uh SBI. And I think LLJ is going to start off with that Lord. And do you think the new Lord is dealing a lot of damage to tank jungle? But oh wait, that aside, Kimi going in with the dive. You get that. Ezo will get the kill on a Thiessen, and the second Thiessen is gone. Look how aggressive SBI gets. They instantly dive all the way back in the so deep, baits out another flicker, going in for that fight. Fission, let me know what's happening. My god, Krolo is going to be taken out from that fight a little too early, bit off a little more than he can chew, but the defense is still underway. The siege of the bottom inhibitor from SBI. Metaru trying their best to stop it, but they do not have enough lane clear. Thiessen is finally back using up the Zaman force. A beautiful set coming in by the Lapu. Lapu, the brave fighter, will get them off. Low taper fade will still survive for now, but Ezo in the backline wrecking havoc. The taunt, perfect coming in by Chosen One as a final shutdown. Ezo will be taken down for now. It's high time he gets put in place as he was dashing around a little too freely for the likes of Metaru. And they
In
finally get some much needed gold for themselves, man.
Indeed, it'll be a 2-for-2 trade, by the way. Izo ends up getting taken down. LJ also was taken down. Joseph and Teoka on the side of Metaru were taken down as well. But right now, it looks like low taper fade still farming. He still wants more. He knows he can do a lot more on this Yuzong right here. And looks like LLJ wants to start the turtle. They would want to take this turtle as soon as possible. But right now, it looks like low taper fade and LLJ trying to zone out Chosen One and Teoka. Wow, Cloud is there trying to clear this minion wave.
Okay. Do you think Metaru is in a condition to actually contest for this Lord, or is it better to just hope for a defense?
It looks like there will be there will be something coming up here. I was hoping they would go for the turtle, but looks like every time Izo engages, and Izo sets the tempo and momentum for his side. But looks like they will be trying to catch Teoka and will but Teoka has managed to survive. But no, it looks like Cloud ends up taking down him, but
Oh,
Ethan
the
takes down the Timmy. What is going on?
this fight is going all over the place, but Thiessen is still alive. And as long as he's alive, it's impossible for Metaru to be down out of this fight completely. But the second I said that, Low Taper Fate will get the shutdown. It looks like it's gonna be an absolute wipe. It's only Ralik having to defend against that one cannon minion, but he has to take care of LLJ. If his dash gets interrupted, this might be over for him. But since LJ and team know that there's no point of really trying to stop a Lancelot and commit so hard, let's just steal every single objective on that side of the jungle before we move on to the Lord. And yeah, I mean the execution is going really well from the side of SPI. Crollo, compared to the previous game, is having a few more errors. The King callings have not been that much on point because if they were, Thiessen would not be able to walk around so freely. But okay, they committed on very heavily onto LLJ, but the remaining target is actually Ezos. You need to save the taunt for him, man. Chosen has to understand that because every single time they leave Ezo open, they get punished, they get taken down, and looks like this just might be the end. Chosen trying to buy time, but Cloud will not allow it as SBI secures match point and a slot to the top 8 of MLOS Season 2, and Metaru sadly will have to say their goodbyes.
Indeed, they will have to say their goodbyes. A well-deserved win by the side of SBI. Izo setting up the pace for the side of SBI. Every time he went in for decent, and I don't know how Metaru could not realize it by then. He had gone for him 4 times now. But either way, these today it was us, your casters for the day. It was the amazing ball to do, and me, your boy Vision, and we will be going on to a short break until the next game.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the last match of the day, MLOS Season 2. This is the first day of best of three round series. And here we are with two teams on to the screens. We have Sacred Shrine to the blue and Cyber Drifters to the red side. I'm your Custer Burger, and with me I do have Yuna. So Yuna, what do you think about this match?
Hello, Burger. I think this match gonna be really interesting because we have one of the the top team sacred shrine, and as well there is the team cyber.
Yeah, it's Cyber Drifters. Yeah, so we were talking about these two teams. They are gonna face each other, but let's talk about the band coming out from the side of Stray Kids Shine, because obviously this is a really goated marksman. If we talk about 1v1 situations right now, she can really unlock her ultimate crossbow tang and can ult and finish any of the given squishy marksman or mage, as you say. Even tanks are not secure. Tanks are not safe from her. Her mobility, her agility allows her to travel along the map, dodge the crowd control skills with her second with her second passive. So yeah, and there you go. We do have another band that's gonna be Baxia. On this season specifically, Baxia is being a really great jungler tank to be honest. And Cyber Drifters have gone with the CC ban at their first slot. So yeah, obviously we know this season she is really goated with her yo-yo jumping along the maps, giving insane amount of burst damage to the opposing side. So yeah, banning her out is a wise choice. We do have another band from the side of Cyber Drifters. Let's see what is left for them to ban on the second slot. It's gonna be Grok, another squishy marksman and mages. If the whole skill set connects. So yeah, obviously it would be annoying, and the wall, that's the toughest part, man. I mean, blocking minions, you know, dividing the rotations of confusing the rotations, to be honest, confusing the rotations of the opposing side. So yeah, it's a really great ban to be honest. But let's see, two more bans are left into the first banning phase. So let's hope. I mean, obviously, we're going to see some amazing bans or the meta bans from the previous matches. Okay, Angela. So I guess, Yuna, what do you think about this Angela being banned out?
I mean, until this season, the Angela, she got the buff onto herself as well the CD reduction onto her ultimate, which is a really, like a trump card, only the 10-second
Yes.
CD. Combined with the good fighter, the chunky ones, it will be a really great, combination out there. Even the Natan, the Yuzong, the Bashi, it will be great. So I guess the team Sacred Shrine, they don't want to give this Angela out there as well. We can see from the side of the cyber they have banned out the Kalea. I mean, understandable because the art loves to play the pickup type of tanks, and Kalea is one of the the hero the art uses the most. So yeah, they ban out the Kalea over